in a nutshell, right? I help to turn dreamers into doers, and I do it from two aspects. I do it from the aspect of career development, resume writing, interview preparation. You have a problem on your job, or if you're looking to change jobs, I am your girl. And then I also do it from a business aspect. If you're looking to expand your business, you're looking for marketing strategies, or if you just have some ideas and thoughts and don't know how to bring them into fruition, I am your girl. Here on the Let's Do It Talk show, we were primarily created for entrepreneurs, right? Quickly, we realized that the entrepreneur was an entire person. So we talk about faith, we talk about finances, we talk about the future, and we talk about families and relationships. Today, it's all about the Geminis, right? So you can kind of call this a group happy birthday type of celebration, because I got all my sisters with me, and it's a Gemini thing. You wouldn't understand it. So my guests today are no other than our co-host, Shanae Robinson, and then I have some special friends with me. We have Kim, and I'm going to call them by their nicknames, but let me give you their full names now. So we got Kimberly Rush, a.k.a. Kimmy. We got Flo Shepherd, a.k.a. Flo. And we have Roz Nightingale, a.k.a. Dr. Small. So we're going to have a fun show. All Geminis. So many people say this and say that about Geminis. So we're here to break it to you and tell it to you from our book, from our record. So very interesting. We found an article, and we're just going to shed some light using that article and just tell you our openly opinion. But you know what I do before I jump into the show, right? I tell you all about my weekend, and this one was a birthday weekend for me. And when I tell you, it was a birthday weekend. So we're going to scroll the pictures. So it started off with crabs and karaoke, spend some time with my fan, but then my daughter, my oldest Apple, she purchased me a Louis Vuitton bag. So the whole experience of going to the store, she was like, instead of matching tattoos, because I don't do tattoos, let's get some matching Louis. So she got her a Louis and she got me a Louis. And then Saturday was all day spa day. So again, shout out to my son, my son-in-law, my daughter. They really did the thing up, and I was there all day from 11 to 5:30, and I had lunch in between. Wonderful. And do y'all sign up for the freebies? I signed up for all the freebies, so I went and got my free Baskin Robbins and my free Dunkin' Donuts. The other thing, I got a chance to celebrate church. Sad thing, but still grateful. June the 5th, y'all know my three great nieces who transitioned in the fire. June the 5th was the oldest one's birthday. So yesterday was her heavenly birthday. So happy heavenly birthday to Jayla. And then yesterday I had the opportunities for my dinner at Del Mar. Very expensive upscale restaurant. But it's worth it. It's worth it. I think we had to make reservations like 3.5 weeks out. And last but not least, my mom. So y'all know, I'm still dealing with that. And my mom is the first person that normally calls me for my birthday every year. I don't answer the phone, don't look at anything until my mom calls me. So with her transitioning, and she will always give me a birthday card with the amount of money of my age. The last one, I did not spend it. So I put the money into an envelope in the plastic bag so I can savor it. And I don't know whether I'm just going to add on or do whatever. But definitely, she's still with me. And that card meant so much to me. And after that, I had my apples. My kids and my grandkids was just so good to me. My daughter, in addition to paying for my spa for where I'm going tomorrow, she also she does this thing of three, representing me, my mom, and my sister. She always brings me 3 roses. So she did not fail. She brought me 3 roses and a balloon. So when I tell y'all, best birthday ever, I don't know. It kind of compared to Hawaii last year or whatever, but I'm really, really, really enjoying life. And you have to make sure that you enjoy life. I'm gonna make it through this show, but y'all, I had a rough day, just being honest and transparent. one of my neighbors who I have been praying with heavily since December, she was diagnosed with cancer. She passed away this weekend. So I found out last night. It was a tough day for me, but yeah, this too shall pass. But live your life to the fullest. But we're going to talk about some Geminis, what Geminis do, what Geminis don't do. We're breaking all the myths and we're giving all the facts. So we're going to turn to my ladies. Ladies, are y'all ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready and I'm excited. So we're gonna let y'all do some quick rounds of self-introduction, just for everybody can know who you are. I know who y'all are, but so that everyone can know who you are. So we're gonna start with you, Dr. Smiles. Dr. Smiles. Give a little intro about yourself and tell everyone who you are.
Hi, my name is Dr. Smile, aka Auntie Roz, also known as Roz Knight in Warfield, and I hail in Dallas, Texas. And I am all about the Smile platform. Smile means simply make intentional love encounters, starting with yourself first, under the wise counsel of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So I'm going to probably be the game changer about Gemini. Once we get to that point, I will explain that you're loved, appreciated, celebrated, valued, and most cherished.
Absolutely. Gotta love Roz. Roz, I ain't even gonna get into it, but gotta love Roz. I'm gonna start right there. We'll talk about you later. It's a whole other show. Below, let the people know who you are. First of all,
this is Flo Sherman. I'm the owner of Flo C Inc., Corporate Professional, and the owner of It's Just My Flow Consultant organization. And what I love to do is have people tap into their flow, operate in their flow, and really just continue doing It's Just My Flow. And this is what I do. And I am a true 100% Gemini. So I'm ready for those questions.
Hey. And then next up, we got my childhood friend, my Anita Baker Singer. Right, I couldn't help it with your birthday post this year. But we got my childhood friend, Kimmy. Kimmy, let them know who you are.
My name is Kim, and AKA Kimmy. A lot of people call me Kimmy. I am a total 100% Gemini. I don't have a fancy introduction. I'm just Kimmy. That's it.
Hey, but wait till you bring it. Like, y'all, her post and the realness that she bring, love it. And last and certainly not least, Shanae. Y'all know Shanae, every second Monday, money making mothers, just always here giving facts and giving information about the money. But today, in a different role, you talking about Geminis and being a Gem. So let the people know who you are.
Hey guys, it's me, Shanae Robinson, the professional credit diva, and you all know for me, diva means doing it very aggressively. So no matter what it is you want in life, you have to go after it because nobody is going to give it to you. And I believe that is one of the marks also of a true Gemini woman, okay? And so when I saw Ladrine post what this topic was going to be about this Monday, I was like, oh no, sis, I need to be on this panel. I love being a Gemini. To me, Gemini is the best sign in the whole wide world. And, you know, I fully embody it along with the rest of the panel. Yes. And I'm excited to be here.
Yes. I'm excited as well. So all the things that people said about Geminis, the non-Geminis, they just don't understand us. So I was like tickled when I was trying to come up with the title. So I was like, yeah, it's a Gemini thing. You wouldn't understand it. And then as I was doing the research, I came across this article by Stargazer titled Gemini Fun Facts. 10 things a Gemini wants you to know but will never tell. But we're going to tell. So we're going to walk through these and then we're just going to ad-lib. And I know you all have some things that people have said to you or a Gemini or blamed it on you being a Gemini. So we'll have time to talk about that as well. So let's get started, shall we, ladies?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, let's go. So number one, Gemini is an overthinker. thinker. Living in their mind, Gemini thinks all day. They have the most complicated mind among all the zodiac signs in astrology. Their brain keeps spinning and spinning until they become confused and can't bear it anymore. In those moments, a Gemini needs some outlet. They often use their famous Gemini humor. Listen, I can start off with that one, right? I agree with this one. Like, totally agree with it. Sometimes to a fault. I am a thinker. I think I came out the womb thinking, asking questions. Like, my cry wasn't a regular cry, right? And the thing is, like, the latter part, at first when I read it, I was like, hold on. But our creative, like my creative juices, they go into overflow. And sometimes it creates or leads me into an unnecessary crunch where I just got to go ahead and get it done in order to meet a deadline, because when I'm thinking, I want it perfect, or my imagination goes really, really, really wild. What about y'all? Thoughts on that?
I was going to say a creative, not necessarily like an overthinker to a degree, but I think we are definitely creative. We get the process going and everything. And being a Gemini, I like that we are creative with getting out of situations or creating, viewing things in a different way where somebody might not have thought of it that way. So I'm gonna say, yeah, creative.
Yes, big picture thinking.
So I'm going to say that I don't know about overthinking, but my mind is always definitely going. I am uber curious. I ask a lot of questions to the point that it annoys those that are close to me. I've often been told, why do you ask so many questions? And I'm like, because I want to know.
Right.
So when I get those answers, and then I get those answers, so that's probably, I don't know if it's a plus or a minus, but when I get those answers, then I'm dissecting those answers. I'm like, okay. And so then when I get the answer, and then I break that down in maybe 3 more parts. So I would say the overthinking part is true. I don't like that word overthinker, but our minds are definitely always turning.
Yes, always spinning, always thinking of something. And even in the asking of the questions, it is so that it can help complete the puzzle to something else or find the answers to something that's going on. I've always been that way.
I'm right there with Kim about that word overthinker. I just had this conversation with my girlfriend about me being an overthinker. I think it is being creative. Okay? And that's what it is. So me thinking and questioning and to myself, it's just trying to birth out something, being very creative, connecting the dots, maybe not this way, not that way and everything. Just trying to really, something out of it's overthinking. I agree, and I'm going to own to that I could be overthinking some stuff, and a little bit, because being motivated as a Gemini, that's I get right there. I'm going to stay right there with that.
Yeah. Okay.
If I could interject for a second. I think also, too, where they say that we are overthinkers, I think that, again, I have a problem with the word overthinker, but I think that we ask a lot of questions, and Dream, you can kind of chime in on this. Like, I think that it's not an overthinker. I think we are logical thinkers. So when we ask a lot of questions, we're digging the path because we're trying to make sense of it. Like, it's like, that doesn't sound logical. That doesn't make sense. And that's often annoying to other people. But I'm honestly, and I will ask a million, I can't tell you how many times I've got yelled at and said, why are you asking all these questions? And I'm like, But a lot of my questions are, well, what difference does it make? Because I've already dissected it in my mind.
Right. So
but I'm
trying to find the impact.
Be logical about it.
And the impact. So definitely with the logical and the impact, I can go with those. Let me ask y'all this in a different way. I used to not like the word overthinker, because I used to take it as a negative comment, right? But so let's take it away from you engaging with other people. Let's take it with a project that you're doing by yourself. Right. When I'm doing a project, and I'm flexible in the time and limit and things like that, I have overcome perfectionist. But it used to be a part of, there's a better way. Did I really fully think through this? Is this how all the parts work? That's how I have come to agree with the overthinker. But I definitely agree with you all in terms of logical and things like that. So I get it. I get it on both ways and both avenues. But I know when and last time on the show, funny story. So Reverend Rice was on the show. We were talking about an incident where she asked me to do something, a posting for the church. She knows how my mind goes, and she was like, something simple, because she know I'll get into thinking creative and it be and the same thing happened at work this week. And instead, what I told the young lady, me and her will partner to an assignment, and I told her my thoughts, and she was looking like, okay, on Zoom. And I said, let me take the first stab at it, and then I'll give it. I worked through it in 24 hours and gave it to her to be able to explain what I needed to do. So I get it, but I admit to that, because I will go in and thinking unless there's a deadline where I'll be like, thinking got to be cut off. You got to meet the deadline. But definitely respect everything that everybody said. Roz, did you want to say something?
I guess this is one of the reasons why I guess y'all would call me Auntie, because I'm in my 6.0 chapter of life. And I was sharing with Ladrine what I wanted to share, what was coming into my spirit. So when I was 16 to 26, I was an addict and a drug dealer. And I was heavily into astrology. And at the point of me being released from that, then I said, instead of saying I'm a Gemini, I was born in the month of May for grace. And my people who are my peers who are in June, we know that the number 6 is for core and for the creation of man. There were things that when I read it, I was like, I'll be doggone. That makes sense.
Right.
And then guess what? So I started going to the word of God. And I felt like the Magi had to follow the stars to get to Jesus, right?
Right.
So I was like, okay, Lord. And I still don't know, because even I was calling Ladrine to ask her. But the thing about it, whether it's overthinker, overachiever, overdoer, how did Daddy make us? Kimmy said, I ain't got no fancy. Kimmy, that was fancy because that was about you. Kimmy, Shantae and Flo. How did he wire us? Because guess what? Can we separate ourselves from the secular part of any meaning of something to be able to get to the godly part, the daughters of who we are? And regardless of what anybody thinks of me, it's none of my business. I just need to take care of this vertical alignment and trust God to take me horizontal. So that's my share for this moment.
And that is great. That's awesome. And actually, that's where I want to get to at the end of it. Because at the end of the day, while they have these various things and they notate them to Gemini, we all can talk about what it is, but everybody is made up of various factors, right? So other signs can be other people. It doesn't matter. Your sign can be overthinking. So as I wrote in the post, I don't even believe in astrology, right? I don't. But this is a fun show, and we all can go on our individuals on how we feel about that. But Roz, I love what you say, and let's cap that at the end, because at the end of the day, that is it. That right there is it, right? That is it.
Agree.
So let's go to number 2. Geminis don't want to hurt your feelings with their jokes. Everyone knows that Geminis equals sarcasm. While the twins are fun to be around, their jokes can be annoying to the more sensitive zodiac signs. Gemini loves to have fun. However, they sometimes don't realize that not everyone shares their sense of humor. So for me, again, this is a fact, right? Like, my sarcasm, it's gotten better. But my sarcasm, and Kim, you'll know, like from the little one or whatever, like my sarcasm was like on point in terms of just magic happening, right? And so I never intend to hurt anybody's feeling. And when we're joking now, like if it's a fun type of way, never want to do anything that hurt anybody to the core, even like when you joning or whatever. But I also know some people don't get my jokes, right? And my daughter told me,
you real quick,
Mom,
you real quick with it. You keep one in the chamber. You real quick with it.
Right. And listen, and I'm gonna let y'all chime in. My daughter said, Mom, if you gotta break down and explain your joke, it ain't no joke. It's only funny to you. And I'm like, touche. So what are y'all thoughts about that? So definitely sarcasm and wit. Like on 100, I've gotten better with my sarcasm though. Purposely, I've matured better with that. So what are y'all thoughts?
That's funny because that particular item, I'm total opposite. And I think it had something to do to being bullied and teased.
Oh, okay.
So I don't even want to deal with the jokes. And then my husband and I will sit together and everybody will be laughing. I'm just looking, I got it. But then you know what? Those same individuals that I hang out with, when somebody jokes with them, they about to wrap it up with somebody. You know what I'm saying? They don't get it.
Right.
You know? So the majority of just good, clean, pure laughter, whether I'm mad or happy or sad, with the girlfriend, with my husband, with the family, the jokes, it just depends. Like I deal with the kids' jokes better than the adult jokes. When they want to say, what's the one like, aren't you glad I used Al? What is that? Guess who? What? Knock knock? Who's there? Whatever. Mm-hmm. I deal with the kids' jokes better than the adults' jokes. So that particular myth, I was like, okay. But I love laughter. Right. I love laughter and I love smiling. And I think it just goes on on what's happening. Like I was listening to say his name, comedian, Hughley. There's something happening because of the other comedians. And there was a contract and somebody feelings hurt and they in the comedian field. So I'm like, Lord, all I can do is pray for them. But I think we know, because like Ladrine, you and I, we laugh all the time because of just the saying, I love you more.
Right. I love you equally. I love you
Dr. Stacy will say, I love you mostest. But now me and Ladrine have figured out, we love you more and God loves us mostest.
So we just you have your inside jokes that people get and understand.
So that's my share on the jokes.
Right. Anybody else on that one?
When it comes...
go ahead,
Flo. When it comes to the joke, I like to crack jokes, and people who know me, I have a good sense of humor. Humor. I like to. My jokes are not. I don't think they're all sarcastic or anything like that. So that myth, for myself, I'm gonna say, I make sure it's not, hurting anybody. I, like to make people laugh, and I know my jokes are funny, and. I think it's very light, so I know it's not something, and it's for somebody to take offense to it. And if they do, I will apologize if it does leads to that. But honestly, the jokes are really light humor. When somebody's sad or something like that. I don't know about y'all, but I know Gemini's. I'm good with mimic or trying to not mimic, but just like a stand-up type of thing, to just make people laugh. Mine is very light,
Even in your presentations, even when you're presenting, like, I've emceed events where you have been a speaker. You're always funny. I mean, it brings it real, but you're always funny. So definitely love that.
And I laugh at my own jokes a lot. And when you do that too.
That's the thing. I laugh at mine too, but they're not always funny to everybody else. So sometimes I just laugh and giggle in my head because I be like, they won't even get it.
So you don't think.
Well, Flo, I might can have some deliverance and inner healing because of you, because of your heart about jokes. So I'm gonna make sure I could contact with you, and all them jokes that you got. Maybe you need to do a book, baby.
All right, Janae and Kim, y'all have anything to add before we move on?
Yeah, I'll say that in the past I have spoke fluent sarcasm.
Right.
I still do it at times depending on my mood. I have toned it down a lot because it hasn't been well received. Like my brother told me once, you talk to people like they're stupid, right? And if he asked me a question, I always start out with like, you know,
right?
And then I make it a joke, and then I break it down, and then it's like, oh, okay, but I don't really mean any harm. But what is very simplistic to me is not simplistic to the next person.
Exactly.
So it is a sense of sarcasm, I believe, that we have. It's just when you learn that how it affects others, then you will kind of tone it back. But that sarcasm, that's in my spirit. It sizzles in my spirit a lot.
That's it. And you said the mature part of it is when, like, we don't learn to understand other people's communication style until we get older and we start communicating with them. And when we realize that something is hurtful, that was never our intent, then that's when we adjust. So very good example, Kim. I love that. I'm sorry, Shanae, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just going to say, for me, I have a quick tongue. So, like, my comeback is always quick. It's, like, witty, and it kind of catches people off guard. And I think with us, we, like, our humor, like a lot of people, they understand it to a degree. They might not understand it fully, but it's never anything kind of like done intentional. It's just, you know, quick wit, come back with it real fast. Like, I had a girlfriend who was like, I can't come back. I can't think as quick as you on my feet with an answer for whatever. And it's not always a bad thing, because like I found, like, in interviews when they ask me certain questions and, you know, things like that, like, we're just like quick on our feet. We have an answer for whatever, you know, the situation is. We can definitely deal, you know, with the situation. And by us being thinkers or overthinkers or overachievers, our mind is always, you know, and our mouth is right there to deliver it. So
yeah. And
but
before
Janae,
I go into number three, definitely in terms of
move faster than our brain.
Sometimes it is, and we like, well, you know, we love you. That was the other twin. That wasn't.
There you go, talking about the twins.
Exactly.
So before I go into number three, one of the things that I want to say here on Shanae's point, very quick, like, I never write script. Like, I don't care if it's a 10-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour presentation, speaking gig that I'm doing. I never write a script. I feel the audience. So quick on our feet. Yeah, I definitely can go with that. And response, like if somebody say like a joke or we're in the middle of doing something, I'll just be like, boom, like right back at you, like I got you. So yeah, love that. So number three, Geminis get bored quickly. And this is how they make their way around fun. A Gemini's mind needs constant stimulation, and they use joke as a coping mechanism against boredom. I don't necessarily agree with the second part. If I need stimulation. If I'm bored, I will find a way to remove. If I can't make it interesting, because it's not always fun and jokey. I like serious conversations where we're talking through issues. I love a good conversation. But if it's not engaging, I'm removing myself from the situation. I cannot deal with boredom. I can chill by myself. So what are y'all thoughts on that?
Get bored really, really quick. Mm-hmm. And my husband tells me that I have rude interactions because, can y'all hear him? He said, yes, you do. If I get bored with you, my whole mind, I be on that other person be done walked away while you still talking. And I'm working on it. It's been a long time. But if I'm bored, man, and then, I've even went to scripture. I was like, Lord, help me, because my scripture now is be still and know that I am God.
Come
so
on now.
How can I be still and even respect and engage with that person? Because guess what? Even though the information might be bored, there might be something that I really need. So help me with this boredom. And then also I could be missing an opportunity that I could pick up someone as a client. So I got to look at that in a whole different way, y'all, in 6.0.
That's right, Auntie.
But I get bored real quick.
We in the 5.0 level. We will get there. Kimmy, Nay, we got about 10 more years, and then that's how we got to be.
I am the first to say, and in life and through life, you don't really learn things and know things or notice things about yourself. Like one of my things that I always say is, wow, I wish I could jump out of myself and see myself as other people see me, right? Just as a improvement tool. But I am, and Dream, who's been my friend for a lot of years, and we vibe on that same level. Like, I am not a fan of idle chit chat.
Right.
I was told by, people in one of my coworkers who turned into my very good friend, she told me, she said, you will walk away, somebody will be talking and you will walk away in the middle of the conversation. And I'm like, yeah, I'm over that. Like, I don't want to hear what you like. I'm not a fan of idle chit chat. In my girl circle, in my sister circle, when we talk about things. We talk about life.
Yes.
We talk about how we can improve. We talk about, things. So don't call me talking about what you doing. Girl, bye. I don't want to talk. I'm not a fan of idle chit chat. And that's because your conversation is boring to me. It's not stimulating my mind. So I definitely agree with that statement. Not the latter part, but the first part I definitely agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm going to let you go, Shanae. But my thing is that I have changed the way that I have expressed it. And now I say I don't like wasting my time. Like, I don't like wasted time. I don't like wasted time on any level at all. But, yeah. Shanae, you was going to say something?
I was going to say, like, kind of piggybacking on Kimmy. For me, I would rather just sit and be by myself than, and think of, how I'm going to improve this or what I'm going to do, or even just, sit with Shanae versus, well, what you doing? Oh, why? Or when I'm like, all right, then I'll call you back, or I got to go, or, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather just be to me, because I like Shanae. Like, me and Shanae can chill. That's my girl. I love Shanae, to life. I'd rather hang out with her. Right?
Come on.
And so that's where I am now. Like, I don't think we need a whole bunch of people. For us, I don't think it's ever quantity. I think it's quality. And that's no matter what it is for us, whether it's food, it's clothes, it's shoes, it's people, it's whatever. I think we pay more attention to quality over quantity.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. I totally agree. And I often, Shanae, just to piggyback on what you're saying, I often ask myself, something is wrong with me. No one likes to be with themselves this much. Like, I can go for days and not talk to people. And I'm totally okay with it. I don't feel disconnected. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Like, I totally like me. And I can be by myself, and I don't need a whole bunch of, like, chitter chatter. And I noticed as I've gotten older, I've changed. Like, I'm very sensitive to noise. Like, I don't want to hear a bunch of loud talking or music or anything like that. So I totally agree with that. Totally agree with what
Going into the pandemic was nothing for me. I was like, cool. I stimulate myself. Pandemic, I felt bad for the people who lost their minds and took their lives. Yeah. Like, they don't know themselves.
All day long. And people always question and ask me, how do I vacation by myself? I'm like, when I vacation by myself, I can do whatever I want to do. I can have the temperature how I want it, so I don't have to catch a cold or I don't get too hot. I can do nothing if I want to do that. Like, tomorrow, I'm going to vacation by myself, and I'm so good with that and so looking forward to it.
Right.
So yeah, so that was good. That one was really, really good. I'm glad that one came up. It wasn't on the list, but that whole me time, loving ourselves, Gemini love both of us, right? Both did they say. So number four actually like ties into the previous one. And number 4 is Geminis need a mental connection. As an air sign, air is about intellect, right? Gemini wants mental stimulation. They simply need you to be an intellectual partner. This sign appreciates a good conversation more than anything. All I'm going to say is this is me all day, period. And I can pass it on to y'all. Whatever comments y'all have, like good conversation, that's my thing. That's my thing.
I like a good conversation no matter what. And just piggyback from the other question, that I will get bored easy if the conversation is not stimulating or, motivating and everything. Because I like to motivate. I like those deep conversations. I like those conversations that lift up. I like those conversations that I'm kicking it with my sisters, that we make our baby lead, just talking about our dreams, our vision, what we're doing. I like those type of conversations no matter what. Yeah. I do check out no matter what if those conversations is not motivating or stimulating my mind or everything. Are we talking about stuff that really don't make any type of sense, but I love to be in that group or that one-on-one or 3 or whatever it is, that those conversations are stimulating mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Yes. And Dr. Ross, I could just speak for you. I mean, you speak, but every morning you have your room on Clubhouse. So we definitely engage, and that's not the only room that you have, but it opens up where all we do is dialogue, and we share your access, what's on our heart, and we just go into dialogue about whatever the topic is. And if we don't have anything to say for that day, then we just say, we just back out. Like, I'm not one, and you'll notice, you'll always be like, you want to come up? I don't need to say something every day. When something hits me, then I'm going to go into my flow. So I didn't mean to speak.
And you know what I like about that, Ladrine, is because you and I understand how each other thinks. I will still be obedient to say, hey, the Holy Spirit is saying to come up, and y'all, guess what? Even though she says she's going to be quiet, she said, girl, I got to be at work at the meeting. And she come on up and she say what she got to say.
Holy Spirit
I think that's the thing about working and understanding each other, because I think people are afraid, too, that how they, like I'm hanging out with y'all. Right. So I'm building a new bond with some sisters who have similar think processes like me. So see, now, as soon as I get done, I'm going to go to Facebook, because Auntie Roz don't chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. I'm going to go to Facebook and probably go to Ladrine's page and go look up each and every one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I might even end up doing a 4-way direct message and say, hey, y'all, this is what happened to me. Pray for me today, but let me tell you what was up. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all have the process and the thinking like I do. So yeah, we don't always have to say anything, and I think people, for us, I don't know for you guys, but when I am quiet, they think something's wrong, and it doesn't have to be anything wrong. It's just that I'm in that mode, and something is saying in my spirit. Just processing. That's the key word, Kimmy. That is the key word.
I am processing. I am not being moody.
I definitely get that.
I am not being, I'm not acting away. I'm processing.
I love that.
And in the job that I'm in, I'm talking to people all day. People are asking me questions. How do you do this, and that? So oftentimes when I'm alone, I'm processing my day. Now, sometimes I might be, a little chitter chatter, but for the most part, I'm processing my day. So when I'm quiet, it doesn't mean that anything's wrong. Either I'm processing or I'm giving my mind a break, because I have these stimulating conversations. And I love a good conversation. I love a good kiki with the girls, or I love to just have a real deep talk with somebody, and you really just see where their mind and their spirit and their soul is. But definitely, I think that's one of the misconceptions, like that we're super moody people, and when we're quiet, it's nothing wrong when I'm quiet. I'm just processing.
That's it.
That's me. I think all day. My job is to think. right? My job is a strategic thinker, a strategic analyst. That's all I do. And so if you're thinking, you can't talk and think at the same time. I'm taking all of the information in. Even when I'm in different situations, I go back and listen to recordings, sermons, Bible study. I go back and listen to those meetings, notes. I go back and I take copious notes, because you can't think, talk, you can't do all of those things at the same time. And like Kimmy, like you said earlier, we are logical. We are logical in our thinking. So yeah, I'm loving this conversation right now. I'm loving it. But we definitely got to move on. Anything else before I go to the next one, which is like one really funny one to me. So the next one is, the twins will notice every detail. Gemini's is gathering information all the time. Their mind is constantly monitoring their environment. This zodiac sign is very good at picking up the tiny clues others don't even notice. No detail will stay hidden in front of a Gemini. Sometimes they won't tell you, but they notice everything to a fault. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm not even, and I hope my coworker don't watch this. We were in a meeting, and one of my coworkers, we do Zoom, one of my coworkers had a hole in her shirt. So I am one person that I'm cool with, and it wasn't negative. I was like, are my eyes tricking me? I was like, does so-and-so have a hole in her shirt? She was like, no, girl, you so silly, because I joke all the time. And I was like, no, I'm serious. On the lower left-hand corner, right around the curve, she was like, I see it. Like, I can identify, like, mistakes. But here's the flip side of it. I can't, like writing, I write, so I'm thinking, and I'm writing what I think. I don't necessarily catch my errors when I'm going, because I'm going so fast. So what about y'all in terms of catching every detail? I see you, Shanae.
Let me just say this. This one is so true, because what did I go do? I noticed that two of my Gemini friends had on their clear glasses, and I went and got my clear glasses.
That's
Okay.
It's a Gemini thing.
I'm telling you. Like, that's like a point blank one, right? Catch everything. Catch everything. So, yeah, I just won't even go. I won't even go into that. I will say this. It bothers me sometimes, because now I'm really working on me. So now I look at and I evaluate the impact of it. If it's something that's impactful, then I'll speak up about it. If it doesn't make a difference, or it's not, you can brush right over it, I'll look and I'll notice it, and I'll be like, huh. And it might still, if it's a presentation and if it's a period wrong or comma, it might catch my eye, but I don't have to say anything or feel. I can still think like around it. So I am working on that, but it used to just be like, oh, this is not, oh, mistake. And I used to be like, why am I like that? But it also comes from me working in policies, reviewing everything. Like, I had to do that in my job, but I honestly think I was a little kid doing that as well. But
I was too. And some of it kind of like irritates me to a degree, where though it's like, oh my God, how can they not know that they have a spot? Or if it's something that you see but you can't get to it, it used to bother me so much, and it was like, I have to tell that person. Or even something on me, like, this isn't even, this doesn't look right, let me see this. Kind of like too critical, to a degree. As far as like, sometimes I take in information and use it back at you, right? Like, I know this and I remember everything. So like, if me and my other half, if he said this and he was like, well, I never said that. Yes, you did, because on this day you said
Come on,
and da. And so it's like, it's a gift and a curse to a degree. But yeah, I notice everything. Like, oh my God, they have a thread. Like,
So Shanae, you one of those people that if you see a lady in the store with her tag outside her shirt, you gonna tuck it in and just pat her and say, oh, you had your tag sticking out.
I did that the other day. Like, straight up. I was like, I'm not going to let my sister go around like this. So yeah.
And that's it. And now with COVID, I'll tell her. But I used to say, or I'll be like, excuse me, listen.
Yes.
That helping the sister put her crown on straight. Exactly. I think there are some things that will catch our eye, and we really have to look deep inside of us. How did we get that way? And I can remember, and I'm not going to say because I know I got folks who are watching, so I'm going to keep this. I might have to do a private conversation with y'all later. But there are things that happen to us from Absolutely. 0 to age 18 for our makeup, whether it's called being a Gemini, a Taurus, a Sagittarius, or just being a disciple of the king. There are things that have happened to us where we have generational things in us too for why we do that. And if we took time and probably really were able to talk to some of the elders in the family or just really take time to learn each other, we would see where some things are coming from. Because I have a friend that she will discuss what's happening with something, but she won't tell a sister or brother your nose is dirty. And we standing in a crowd with people. I don't understand that. Yeah. So I think there's times where people are just doing it because that's a critical piece about them, just Definitely. Because that's a part of them. But Definitely. They have to do an inner healing and a deliverance on that part. Definitely. But I thank you because I want you to tell me if my tag is out, because guess what? There have probably been folks, now I have never done it, but I have thought about it, and I had folks to stop me. You wear something, then you want to take it back to the store, and the tag was out, and you was at whatever party, a conference, concert, whatever you was doing, being cute. Like, come on now, come on. Was there something in your closet that you could have used? Yeah. For me, growing up, as you say, like things that we learned, I was always taught as a child to mind your business. Children are seen and not heard, right? Yeah. So for me, I will, and I don't know if it's a Gemini thing or what, but for me, it's optics. It's what I see. I will scan the room. If I see her with a hole in her shirt, as Dream said, I'm not going to say nothing. But if somebody else say, girl, she had a hole in her, I saw that. I ain't want to say nothing. But so for me, I'm scanning. I'm always scanning the room. And I see it, but I don't speak them.
Yes. So y'all know, like us Geminis, when we get together, we like a good conversation, right? But we got at number 5 and we had 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip through some of them, but I'm going to allow us to focus on a couple of them. So get ready for the ones that we'll focus on. I'll read those out loud. So we're going to focus on a Gemini can be emotionally detached, mood swings all day, and a Gemini is brilliant. So you think of which one of those that you want to answer, and we'll start off with the next one that's in order, and that's a Gemini can become emotionally detached. So if 2 of you all like quickly respond to that one, then we'll be able to get through all of them. Thoughts?
I'm the exact opposite. I am emotionally attached.
Okay.
I am emotionally attached. I will go through the whole gamut of emotions. I am that is not me. I am emotionally attached, but and I'm very forgiving. So yeah, I'm all in when it comes to the emotions. I'm all in.
Yeah, definitely can feel you.
I'm emotionally attached. I don't see myself being detached as well. Just cutting it really short or anything like that. Sometimes I feel I'm too overly emotionally attached at times, but detached, no. Very forgiving and everything like that. And sometimes I think that kind of hinders, at times, but I think, detached, no.
Yeah, and Raj, you shaking your head, so you agree with that?
But I agree, but like I said, I think I go both ways depending on the scenario. Because like when we were talking about chitter chatter, idle talk, then I can emotionally detach. But the things that are stimulating, the things that I'm a part of, or I really feel in my spirit that I'm supposed to be a part of, then I'm attached. But I know that Kimmy said something when she said scanning the room. I believe that we are seers, and that we not only just the manifestation of a physical situation. I think we see things in the spirit also. I
believe that.
Yes,
I believe
absolutely.
that.
I relate that.
And Shanae, can you just answer, like, just let us know whether you're emotionally detached or emotionally attached?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I am a reactive person. Whatever you give me, you're gonna receive it back. So if you give me emotionally detached, that's what I'm gonna give you. But if you give me emotionally attached, that's what you're gonna receive. So in a way, your mood or your attitude or whatever dictates my mood towards you. And I gotta go. My daddy had a blowout. I love this lady. I gotta go pick him up.
All right. Thank you. Love you, Shanae. Love you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
So that's very interesting that she said that. And I know we got to press on, and I'm going to like kind of like skip through the other ones. But emotionally, like that's why that's why I'm very careful with my circle. Very careful with my circle, like extremely small. I'm so emotionally attached. Whatever my friends go through, I'm going through it as well. Whatever my friends are feeling, I like to talk through things if we have a problem. However, if something like falls down and something comes away, it takes me a moment to emotionally, like I cannot be in your presence, but emotionally feel something. That's a different story. And to be very transparent and honest, forgiving was very hard for me. Like previously, I actually wrote a book about it, a chapter about it when I first went through the process of learning to forgive. And I want to say it's probably been about 7 or 8 years. And it was because like you hurt me because I was so emotionally like tied to someone. So those were very, very good. Very good.
But forgiveness for me, Dream, is it could be a selfish thing or whatever. But I and like Flo said, she felt like it might be a hindrance. I'm learning just through soul searching, just going through therapy, that like what I thought was a weakness is actually a strength. Like I refuse to give anybody power over me like that. I won't hold on to it. I had to learn proper placement with forgiveness.
Right.
But it does not stop me from forgiving because. And if I could just, piggyback on Dr. Smile's spirit, it's just like, okay, well, God forgive me. I know I mess up all the time. But again, it's proper placement. So you might have been in the front seat. I'll forgive you, but then you're going to be in the nosebleeds. And I ain't going to never treat you wrong or nothing like that. But I don't fool with you like that.
Kim, do you remember when I wrote my chapter on forgiveness and you inboxed me and I was talking to you and I was saying, you was like, nah, Drain, like, no. So I'm so proud of you of like going through the process. Like, go check your inbox messages on Facebook. We had a whole discussion, I remember. Going around that. So I'm so proud of you because, we come from the same cloth, and to be able to do that, I used to be like, never. That's one God gonna have to always forgive me for. So when I got over and learned it, like amazing. And Raj, you were gonna say something, so I'm crossing out one more because as we talk, and I want y'all to openly talk in the dialogue, but it's gonna cause me to shorten up the other ones on the other end and just read through them. But go ahead, Ross.
I don't know that. I was going to say something. I was already on number 8. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So, and I'll just read what it fully said for this one. Air signs are not really emotional. This is back to the detachment. As part of the air family, Gemini connects on a mental level rather than on an emotional. However, when they are under stress, they will become straightforward, detached. Don't mess with me when I'm stressed out, like let me be. So number 7 was Geminis can't stand monotony. Geminis need constant stimulation. They are super alert and versatile. And if they have to stay in a boring environment, they suffer a lot. So we already talked about that. We don't need to discuss that one. Okay, number 8, mood swings. And this is where you want to talk on, Roz. So a Gemini experiences mood swings often. You can never know what's going on in the mind of a Gemini. In one moment, they are super happy. And then before you notice it, they fall into a deep depression. After 5 minutes, the happiness is back. Thoughts?
That's that twin. That's the other person. That's that twin and the sister and the auntie. That's all of them.
That's all of them.
I call her Bonquisha. That's my other side.
Oh wait, you're gonna have to meet my best friend, Dr. Japonica.
Dr. Japonica.
Hear me, right, Ladrine?
Right.
We talk about
Dr. Roz, I'm like I said, I'm in touch with my dysfunction. I don't
and you know
deny
what?
it.
Hey, we're dimensional. We're multifaceted, and I know when to have a discussion, and I know when not to have a discussion.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I even know that when I really want to go somewhere, but if something ain't right, I'll call and say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be able to make it, because if something is getting in the way of that, I don't want to do that. But guess what? We want to own our power, right? And that's what Kimmy said earlier.
Right.
We want to own our power with the mood swings, because when we think about being believers, then, hey, why am I going on this roller coaster ride? What's happening with me right now? You know, I want to understand, even in the trial, that there is joy. So let me say this really quickly, Ladrine.
Mm-hmm.
So my car stopped on me the other day. So it wasn't a battery. We still don't know what it is. And guess what? I have 4 hours to evangelize, right? But then I drive my husband's car after I get home.
Right.
I also met a guy who was 25 years old. His birthday was on the same day as me. I got to minister to him. Got to my husband's car, went out and did what I had to do. There was a lot of rain. So, you know, the newer cars have to back up. I couldn't see where I was. I ran into the garage. So I elected. The garage didn't get messed up, but his car did. So, you know, he asked me, was I in a mood swing? But the thing about it, I didn't tell him right then and there. I told him the next day, because he wasn't home, and he said he was asleep. And that was the best way that I could tell him, because I still had a lot of, golly, how did I do that? You know, but my foot slipped. It was raining. My foot slipped off the brake, and it could have been more challenging. I could have been on the highway, hydroplane, and whatever, you know. But I just said, oh, Lord. So I had to take what he had to do, but I couldn't let that get me into a mood swing, hearing what his concern was. And then I had to remember, I couldn't look at the black hole or the hole in the shirt of what he was saying, because y'all know I was calculating, right? I was calculating while he was sharing with me.
Right.
I was like, nah, I can't do that, because I said, this happened for a reason. And when Kimmy, you have, all of y'all have said some powerful things, but Kimmy, when you said something about when you look at yourself, you know, we think that something coming from somewhere else is for someone else, but really it might be just for us.
Right.
How do we grow? Kimmy, when you share that, I could feel the energy between you and Ladrine about that forgiveness and where you've grown in your forgiveness. So mood swings, y'all, we got to say, all them other areas, they are true, but how will we handle them and dismiss and dismantle anything that is toxic to make us up, so we won't have to be on a roller coaster ride? That's my share.
That was good. That was good. So Kimmy and Flo, so I want you all to answer that and end on that one. Like, Gemini is brilliant is number 9. So that's no question. We all agree with that. We 100% positively agree with that one. And number 10 was a Gemini has to learn to be consistent and persistent. I disagree with that. I think I'm overly consistent. It's hard for me to break a habit and persistent. So all of those together, like, what are your closing remarks? But I really want you to focus on mood swings. If you want to choose one of the other two, then that's fine. So Kimmy, what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on mood swings is that I am learning to recognize what's temporary, what matters and what don't. For me, it's a mental thing, and it's a thing of power. Yes. I'm still learning it. I'm still learning, and I'm still growing with that. It's a lot of talking to myself. So I feel like I'm dealing with that. Yeah, we can be moody. And then, I mean, let's just keep it real. Sometimes you just don't want to be bothered. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's in recognizing all of those things about yourself. As far as being brilliant, of course, we all wicked smart. We know that. Like, we wicked smart.
Right.
But the mood part, I think that's just all with knowing yourself and you know, because you can't let your mood, you know, dictate you. Here lately, I've been into a lot of affirmations, just affirming myself. My prayer has been for inner peace,
Amen.
calm, because we are thinkers. I still have an issue with the word overthinker. We are thinkers. So I am always trying to figure out how to stay just, you know, on an even keel. I stay, since I turned 50, this is my soft life.
Yes.
So I want to live softly now. You know, I don't want to argue. I don't want to fuss. I don't want to be all zhushed up with all that, because we know stress kills, right? And a part of managing your mood swings or managing your mood, and I don't even know if that's a Gemini thing, right? I think that's a human thing.
Exactly.
Just managing those, learning to manage yourself, minding me. That was going to be the name of a candle that me and my business partner was going to pitch, but it was minding me. It's minding yourself. You can't control nobody, just control you. That's how I feel.
So, Kimmy, you got to look at the last show, which was May 23rd, and it was called Self is a Full-Time Job. Self is mind your business, focus on you. All of those things, we talked through that. So make sure you catch the previous episode. Really, really good.
Okay.
Flow. Kimmy, that was good. I'll circle back at my end on some of those. That was good.
Okay.
Flow.
Yes, mood swing for myself. It do occur when I'm listening to everybody. It's just like when you're driving in a car and, you know, stuck in traffic, somebody cut you off or something happened. Sometimes I see myself having that mood swing, or my attitude, you know, was good, and then I hit traffic, I'm in my way, you know, trying to get somewhere. Then, you know, I have mood swings. Other than that, I try to, you know, tame it and control it when I see it's coming, because I don't want to give it that, you know, that power. It does happen sometime when you get irritated or annoyed. It's just a natural to me. It does happen as for anybody. So, but I do know, yes, I do sometimes, some of my friends do see that I do have, I'm kind of moody at times. And I think is that my mind is going of things that I have going on. I'm processing things. I'm strategizing. I will strategize and have my own meeting on my head, by myself. I do so many things in my mind, and some in my portray when people see me that I'm moody, I'm distant, I'm this, but no, I'm having a board meeting with me. You know, it's just really trying to just strategize and plan stuff. Mood swings, again, is something that, yes, it is. You got to identify it. You got to try not to give it power, but it does creep up. So it's just a natural thing that you just got to try to take control of. What I do love is that when you do have people around you that really call that thing out, that's another thing. You know, so you could, you know, like, okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, why are you moody over here? Why? To see exactly what it is. Because it could be something that you're going through that, you know, you don't see for yourself, but the person who's close to you could identify, could see it, you know, could identify and say, okay, what is going on here? What is stressing you out, you know, over here? What, you know, so stuff like that, I think mood swings do happen, and sometimes you don't know why it happened. It could be things that's occurring, that's happening in your life, you know?
You all
And
say very good things.
Really quickly, if I could just piggyback, if I could just piggyback real quick, 2 seconds.
Yes.
One of the things that I noticed about myself, Flo, with my mood swings is that, or what they say, being moody, drained too, listening. In the morning, I can feel myself frowning, and I'll see myself frowning in the mirror, and I'm like, get it together.
Amen.
That's good.
Amen.
That's
I love
good.
that.
That's that part that I was saying. We got to control it. All of this stuff is here and it's happening for some reason, but how much of it did we suppress? How much did we run away from or go into denial? And then when we have these triggers, it happens. So all this was good, but we want to be in our freedom of joy. I call it the fruit of the spirit. That's what it is.
Yes,
every bit of that. How can we do it? Because we got to do this vertical alignment and then trust Daddy to take us horizontal. Because some things we insert ourselves in the things that ain't our assignments. So
I'm telling y'all got to listen to the last previous episode. Self is a full-time job. Self is a full-time job. So you all made a lot of great comments, and I just want to end with my common thread through all of what you all said. So I was going to go backwards, but let me start with what you said, Roz. You mentioned and you stated it happened. It's because of something that happened to us. Our church is reading a book called Attached to God or something like that, but it talks about your attachment style. Everything that you do and everything that you go through, I've been really paying attention. I can trace everything back to childhood, from dealing with deaths, from not dealing with certain people or going through various spaces. I can trace that back to when I was a small child. So you hit that on the nose. And Kimmy, you said it, and then Flo also chimed in. You said earlier to another question, you wish sometimes that you can step outside yourself and see yourself, and that's blind spots. It's blind spots. You can't see your blind spots. And then Flo said exactly what I was going to say. The awareness and understanding comes from allowing trusted people to be in your circle and give them permission to honestly give you feedback to help you. Now, there are some people who will tell you what your blind area is or what an area is, but they can come from a derogatory place. So you have to make sure it's that trusted person. So awareness. Then there's balance, right? There's balance. In the mood swings, we are sometimes, some things make us happy. Some things makes us sad. Some things makes us all of these things. And we are made up of multi-pieces. And we are multifaceted people, not just Gemini, but in reality. When something goes on, and just say, for example, if we get bored or we lose focus on the speaker and we start thinking about something else, that something else can make us happy, that something else can make us sad, that something else can make us. And one of the things that I really have been trying to do is get in tune with my true feelings. However I am feel that way. So if I have a lot going on in my mind, and I think about these, it's going to appear as mood swings, but I'm being honest and true to whatever I am feeling. So they can, I get it in terms of the title and that. And then the other point that I wanted to make, and Kim and Ross, in certain situations, Flo, if she can hear, everybody can understand. So Kim, you'll take it from when I was young. When I was young, everybody used to be like, oh my God, Dream mean, don't play with her or whatever. When I got older, and my staring off so that I wouldn't be mean, so that I can be my natural self and just be calm in the environment, people would say I was shy. I was like, who? I just don't have any input for that. That's not my conversation or my cup of tea that I'm looking to sip off of. So it's just the dynamics of how people view you because of your mode. Well, ladies, this has been wonderful, 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 wonderful. I thank you all for coming on, and I know like that was pretty much your last word, but contact information if someone wants to get in contact with you. And we have to have a part 2 like later on, like maybe in a couple months or so, because I really, really like this, and I'll come up with some more questions. I had some this or that, but we didn't even get to it. Conversation was good. So that one about conversation, it was good. So Kimmy, if someone's looking to get in contact with you, how can they reach you?
I'm on Facebook, Kimberly Rush. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm
you
just
want to
Kimmy.
stop saying that's it before I send Dr. Roz on you. Hey, listen, everybody got their gifts.
On me.
Yeah.
I got you, Kimmy. I
want
baby.
all the smoke.
Cause I know you from the ankle up, like you bad in your own right. So, but okay, I got you. Yeah. So, Dr. Ross, Dr. Smiles, how can they get in contact with you, Auntie Ross?
You can also reach me at Facebook, but I would love for you to come join Clubhouse. I'm there Monday through Fridays, 6:30 Central Standard Time, Trucking God's Way. You don't have to be a trucker, but we're all transporters of God's word. So come join us. And then also RosKnightonWarfield.com, RosKnightonWarfield.com. This has been great, and thank you so much. I enjoyed you, ladies.
I love you more. I love you more. I love you more.
Great night.
All right, and Flo.
No, you didn't say that to me.
I was just playing with you. That was my sarcastic. You ain't get it? It was a joke. Flo, can you tell everybody how to get in contact with you?
I'm on Facebook, Instagram.
You breaking up a little.
She went out.
We lost her.
All right, but she's on Instagram, on Facebook, all the social media channels, and she'll put her information into the feed.
Right. I'm yes. And that's that area.
And you're in and out, so just make sure you also put it in the feed as well. So thank you, ladies, so much, my Gem, and happy birthday to each and every one of y'all. And here's my shirt. I know a couple of you are May.
Birthday, ladies.
But for my
Thank
June
you.
babies,
Happy birthday to you, ladies, as well.
I celebrate all month long. This is how I'm going down. So I'll talk to you all later, and you all be good.
All right, good night,
Love
y'all.
Nice meeting you.
Oh my God, so fantastic show. So all the things that people say, all the myths that they say about Gemini, some of them are true, but you got to understand and you got to get deep into understanding why we do what we do. And in all honesty, this is just me and just my view. I'm not really all into astrology like that. Everything that we read and everything that we said, you can almost find that in every person of every sign. So I just think everybody's their own makeup. As we said last year, we're a sum of our total experiences, everything that we go through. That's how we become who we are. So thank you all so much for tuning in to the show. If you don't already do so, please follow us on all social media platforms. Let's Do a Talk Show. That's our Instagram page, our Facebook group, as well as our YouTube channel and our internet website. And just quickly going over a couple things, man, we all heal differently and we all grieve differently. Projects are still very wanted. So many people have been reaching out because they've lost loved ones or they're going through a grieving session that's really impacting them. So offering them the healing book and talking through them with the candles. And then also excited, my book project got delayed a little bit. I got sick, but The Climb, can't wait for that to come out. And again, it's depicting my 30 years. It's 30 tips and strategies to help you successfully climb the corporate ladder. Next Monday on the show, Money Making Monday. So Shanae will be back with the rest of the ladies. And then we have author takeovers, Felicia Edmond, Arise devotional book, and then Benny Thornton, Family Business, The Gift and the Curse. Powerful, powerful, powerful story. Family, drug dealers, and he showed how he took the path to not be a part of that and how he made out. So very proud of that book project. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and God bless. I'll see you all next week. Bye.